Torch. Now that you're doing those, does that mean that we can see more of those type of characters where for a little while it was kind of like you couldn't touch them or kind of had to stay away from them?
Yeah, I mean, we can touch them. It's just it's trying to find the right place for them. You know, this Walgreens program that we have for for Fantastic Four is fantastic. It's fantastic. It's a nice, simple, clean message that we can get out to you, where we can focus on the important characters and get them out to you in beats. Fantastic Four is hugely important to you, the fan community, but to the casual people, they don't have as much of a background for it. So it's hard for us to want to build a big program around something like the Fantastic Four when you don't get as much entertainment around it as you do, you know, Avengers or Spider-Man or something like that. So it doesn't make a lot of business sense to do something, you know, to build a wave for Fantastic Four. But we'll see how successful Sue is, and hopefully Johnny will be great, and hopefully that'll allow us to, you know, keep going and get you some more of the key characters from that universe, you know, through the programs that we're currently offering.
Yeah, if that collector momentum, Walgreens feels are successful, keep using that strategically as we plan out which properties to do.
I mean, we've already penciled in we've wrapped 18, and we're penciling into 19, where, you know, whether that's something that, you know, extends further, or is it time for something new, you know, we're always trying to figure out where we can go next or how we can improve or get you guys more variety across the MCU or comic-based or television-based entertainment.
Do you think it's possible that
is really bright.
Oh, here, let me turn it up.
We can't even
see you.
You look like a superhero because your head is just this grid of lights.
Yeah.
That's nice.
No, so is it possible that we see the waves get released with a little bit more time apart from each other? Like right now we're seeing the Guardians Volume 2 wave and the X-Men Warlock Build-A-Figure wave hitting at the same time. And we've seen this several times just in recent history where, you know, the Marvel Legends waves just kind of, we're getting bombarded with them, but then we'll have a lapse, like there'll be a dry spell, and then blam! And then, so it's like our wallets just want to know if it's possible that you could like space them out a little bit.
So what I'm hearing is you want like half the amount of Legends for us to produce every year.
No, I did not say that. No. I said space them out, please. Can you please space them out? Is this possible?
Yeah, I mean, so we plan on a certain level throughout the year, and then when figures actually come out is another issue. But we try to do our best, keeping in mind retail set dates, which are important on that side of the business, regionally, as well as movie. You know, like we'd like to be out ahead of the movie, or at least at movie timing for waves that have movie figures in them. So I mean, we hear your feedback. We're doing the best we can. I mean, we've got a couple of fall waves coming that we haven't even really talked about or shown the entire thing. So those will at least give you a break until, you know, third, fourth quarter.
You know, in an ideal world, our intention would always be to have it out as a nice steady beat, as opposed to, you know, all and nothing.
Yeah, that
is the desire of this team. Whether it always comes out as perfectly as we'd like it to or not, you know, there are a lot of outside circumstances that we can't always control or we have to work around. But the intention is to try to get you guys, you know, a good breadth of product throughout, you know, January 1st to December 31st.
The resellers have a lot to do with that too, though, right? Where if they're shipping and they're not selling, they might hold back the newer stuff, and it seems like multiple waves might hit at the same time, but it's up to the retailers sometimes also. Or is that more you guys too?
No, once it's out of our hands, it's out of our control. Once the product is turned over to the retailers, unless there's something that's got a specific shelf set date that can't be out before or shouldn't be out before, you know, that's, you know, a recommendation that we give on certain things when Marvel's asking us to, you know, every year sometimes there's holdbacks or characters that they want to be a surprise that won't be in the trailers, that they want to be, you know, when you're sitting in the theater, you're like, holy, you know, they want those moments, you know.
Like
so
Force Friday and Walmart.
Things like that.
So there's things like that we try to, you know, that we're asked to.
Also, you know, I'm remembering back when we were planning 17, the X-Men wave for 16, Juggernaut, was a fall wave. It was great. And we were looking at the year for 17, we knew we wanted to do a Knights wave and a Thor wave, and so we actually moved X-Men up to the spring, like with the express intent of spacing it out, because then we would have had 3 things all hitting exactly the same time in the fall. Wow. So we're trying to.
Okay, so you guys are there and everything. Shoot, I wanted to ask, because he brought up Force Friday, we saw a Princess Leia figure, right? Everyone's Hasbro, but this Princess Leia figure was a female figure that had double jointed elbows, and it's fantastic, especially those double jointed elbows. And I was noticing of that A-Force, not one of them have double jointed elbows.
The double jointed elbows that are so eloquently hidden behind fabric tunic.
Yeah, but when you pull that sleeve up, it doesn't look that bad, and I'm so happy that we're getting a Lady Thor.
It doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't look bad to me at all, but
Is that
to
what
you
you guys want me to make toys that don't look that bad?
Don't go to McFarlane Route.
Okay, wait.
I'm giving you grief just because we've known each other a long time.
Yeah,
I like to poke you.
it's what we do.
It's what we do. I'll stick with what I always say on that. Never say never. You never know what's coming next year. We're only talking about what's in the showroom today.
Yeah, no, but what about that Lady Thor? See, the Lady Thor, I'm excited that we're finally getting it, and then to see the single jointed elbow, especially on a character that's supposed to be throwing a hammer around and everything, it's already kind of like, why can't you put a double for that one?
Figure with one double jointed and then one non-articulated arm. So
is that the compromise? Is that the compromise?
Look at the beautiful tendons on the inside of your arm. Aren't they amazing? And now this one you can flex.
Hopefully one day, please, the double jointed elbows.
Going solely 2-packs now? I noticed you didn't have any new singles other than the wave that you had at San Diego.
Technically, had one new. We showed Wave 2 of the 3 3/4, which we had shown the new Cap, Age of Apocalypse, Magneto, and Jessica Jones. That's Wave 2 of 3 3/4, and Spider-Man 2099 was a new one. So
Will there be any
Wave 2.
singles after that wave?
That is the plan right now. So it's a full year, as well as we took items to do the movie 2-packs.
Do you plan on continuing the Age of Apocalypse one? Because I saw that Magneto. It looks awesome. It'll be great to have like the rest of the characters from the
There's
storyline.
more AOA characters.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I'll make sure I'll take that back to Bobby.
Just be clear, the plan is to do more singles after that wave, or to go to 2-packs after that?
We're talking 2017 for the
Yeah.
remainder of this year. That is all we're doing for this year.
This year.
We're gonna see more Jim Lee style characters, hopefully.
Who are you wanting?
Beast. I guess Beast is one that I've been looking for, but that would probably take a whole new mold. I don't think you could use anything that you already have for a Beast figure, right?
Apparently,
I don't
you
know.
guys want Jackal to be used for Avengers Beast.
That could be
I don't know if
done.
that solves the.
That's not really my Jim Lee
That's a
style.
good. That's not Jim Lee. I mean, that's a good. That's a way to get a Beast out there super quick and easy. But I don't know if that's the Beast you guys want, or if you want something more, not quite as monstrous as like a Colossus, but something more,
Or a Colossus, yeah, would be pretty sweet. Yeah.
Colossus with a big hunchback.
Or a Gambit, maybe a new Gambit would be pretty cool. And I'm just
Gambit
like
would be
thinking
sweet.
that. Yeah.
We're-
Sure, you guys
we're
thought
having
about these.
fun. We're already starting on where we want to go for X in the future, as long as it keeps doing well and you guys keep supporting. So next year's already done. We're already planning and scheming for 19. So
Gotcha.
Speaking of
we'll add those characters to the suggestion list.
Speaking of this
Alright.
support, have you seen good support from collectors or just purchasing as far as the X Waves? Obviously, you already got a second X Wave. Have they been selling?
Yeah, so I mean, I can just say that the Juggernaut wave last year was very successful. We had a killer lineup, Deadpool, everyone wanted him, and we were able to turn around a second wave for X-Men this year really quickly, and so far so good.
Because a lot of collectors don't understand that, where they have like their wish list of, oh, I want to see this figure, oh, I want to see that, but then if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make money. And obviously, you guys are a corporation, you're in to make money, but also to release figures at the same time, and listening to people on our feeds, on your feeds.
It's no secret. You try to find a good balance that we think will appeal to the most consumers out there, whether it's a child or an adult. So, it's all of those waves for us. You need to have some of those big hitters. And if we're talking X-Men currently, you need those Wolverines or those Cyclopses or a character like a Colossus. While he's not a what we would traditionally call like an A-level character in the X-Men, he's definitely an A, and someone that's been underserved for a long time. So we want to make sure we're always hitting you with those beats, and thank God Marvel gives us such amazing costumes and updates year in year out. Whether you guys like some of the costume choices or not, that's fine. That's a conversation we can have, but we need to keep getting those guys out there. But this year, like the wave having a Build-A-Figure be Warlock and Polaris and Sunfire Classic, you know, and Shatterstar. You know, it's like we were able to throw in some pretty good, deep characters that, you know, have never had plastic toy love, or
haven't had them
or have never,
for 15
or
years.
haven't had them for 15 years or more. So, you know, we hope you guys are happy
Yes,
with
thank
that
you.
and trying to get a balance of that stuff out there. And that's the good thing about only doing, like, you know, one wave a year. It's like there's so, I mean, that sounds backwards, but for us it's great because it allows us to really think about how we make, you know, really meaty, you know, offering for you guys. You know? I mean, I think next year's, which I can't tell you nothing about, and hopefully it will come to happen, I think is our strongest lineup we've ever come up with. So, you know, you know, we can debate
We'll
it.
talk about it next year.
Setting the expectations.
Yeah, I don't mind setting the expectations high on the X-Men. We know, you know how much the two of us love X-Men. We're always going to be shooting for, you know, the best we can do.
Do you guys feel like you missed an opportunity this year with X-23?
Good question. It's a fair question. I don't know. We don't. I mean, maybe, but we do have her offered in the 3 1/4 inch, which is fantastic, and we have Old Man Logan in the 6 inch. So we do feel like there is some representation for her out there. The Fox partnerships with Marvel, we know a lot less about them than we do on the Marvel proper films. So we don't, you know, we don't have an opportunity to read scripts or know who or what's going to be important. You know. I didn't know the Reavers were in the film until I saw the trailer, and I mean, anyone who's talked to me ever knows how often I'm always trying to find a way to do a Reaver. And now that they're going to be on screen, I'm pretty sure I might be able to, you know, crack a little door open to get a little cybernetic murdering love, you know.
You mentioned that back at Comic-Con. New York
Yeah,
Comic-Con.
when we were talking,
about it, you said you wanted to do Reavers.
I wanted to throw in the Jim Lee style Jubilee into my suggestion box. I forgot to mention that a second ago. Jim Lee style Jubilee is
Jorts.
Yeah, the jorts. Yeah, I wanted to ask though. We've gotten the new Spidey 2099 body mold and the Spider UK, both really good figures. I really like them a lot. But
Spider Pig.
and then I want Spider Punk. Yeah, so Spider Punk. But anyway, yeah, please make Spider Punk. That would be great. But the interchangeable hands. Whenever you guys give us something, it's like you've been doing. If you give us something new, there's kind of like this feeling that, oh, now we're gonna get it all the time. Now we're gonna get it all the time, and we did not get interchangeable hands for those two figures. Now those body molds are probably going to be used again in the future. Is it possible for us to get interchangeable hands for a future figure with that mold being reused?
Those molds have been designed with the ability to do swappable things. You know, the toy industry is a cruel mistress. You know, what you can afford in one thing does not necessarily mean you can do the same amount of stuff in a similar item, despite how close it seems. You know, it's like there's a whole lot of factors that go into what we can and can't do, which is why some of them you see the alternate parts, some of them don't, some of them have extra hands, some have extra heads, some have, you know, it's a whole range of things that we have to balance out to make a wave cost out for us, you know. And it's like, and it's not, you can't look at every figure individually. You have to look at the assortment as a whole, and then you have to look at the year as a whole, and then you have to look at the business as a whole. So there's a lot of different levels that we have to, you know, try to move pieces around to make sure that we're, you know, doing the best we can. Do we miss things from time to time? Of course, you know that's when he yells at me, you know. But you know, try really hard to make sure we have a good mix of those bits and pieces, you know.
That was
as long as we can, we're going to try to give them to you, and you know.
That was kind of my thought process behind the Juggernaut wave. We've got so many figures in that wave, and so many large figures in that wave, but so little paint apps, very little paint apps. So when I saw that, me knowing that you have a budget for the wave, my thought was, well, more money went towards plastic than paint this time around. Is that accurate?
Yeah, but sometimes is some of the sacrifices you have to make. I mean, it's, you know, that's one piece of a very large pie.
What scale is that Marvel versus Capcom 2-pack here?
I don't think we're going to talk about that
I don't
just
think
yet.
we're going to say. We just wanted to throw that out there as a nice little nugget for you guys. We weren't even going to mention it at all. It's an exclusive.
Well, is it Target exclusive?
Target
Is it
exclusive.
just one, or is it...
It's a 2-pack,
knows?
right?
Marvel,
No.
Capcom, and Ragnarok were on the can't say nothing. Just look at the hammer, isn't it nice? Yay! Hammer!
Since we're getting a Mantis Build-A-Figure,
Yeah.
are the Build-A-Figures going to start getting smaller again, or are we going to get another tiny Build-A-Figure in the future, or is it going to go? Oh, come on, please no.
I mean, I can't. It's going to be what's appropriate for the line at the time. You guys were down there, and I was talking to one of you earlier, and I apologize for not remembering who, but they were like, well, Death's Head is so big, and Ex Nihilo is so big. Why aren't they the Build-A-Figures? And I'm like, well, they weren't designed that way. Those bodies were designed to be different figures that were never intended to break apart.
Okay.
So there would have been a lot. I would have had to have not given you one of those characters if I was going to spend the tooling dollars to turn one of those figures into a build-up. So instead of that, we were making Mantis from scratch. It was a perfect opportunity because she didn't exist. We could just make her, assemblable, and then you were able to get another character out there.
Okay.
So, it's like if we were going to turn Death's Head into that, because that's built off of Colossus, which is not intended to be a builder, a lot of extra bits and pieces and retooling would have had to go, and we might have had to lose a figure. So instead of losing a figure, we picked a good beat from the new film, which, none of us have seen yet, but we're all super excited for it. And we think, she's probably going to be, a big fun character. So,
So while we get a small Build-A-Figure, we're still getting a lot of plastic in that wave.
Oh,
you guys aren't
definitely.
cheaping out on the plastic.
Definitely.
Okay, cool.
Are you playing with the idea of, like, you're doing the wings, the build of wings, with the spider wave? So is that something we might see more of with other non-figure items, like maybe vehicles or?
Yep, I'm saying it right now. X-Men Wave 2018. The Build-A-Figure is Professor X's hover chair.
Yeah.
say Blackbird.
Yeah. That's not true.
Damn it!
You're quoting on it.
I ask him like every other month. They're on to me now.
They're on to, we got to keep this guy in check. Build a vehicle. This is our first one. We hope you guys will really like it. The thing is huge in the film, which which we'll all see soon enough. But there was no way to do that as an accessory for Vulture without it being, just a couple of pieces. We really wanted to make something that was impressive. And hopefully it pays off, and hopefully you guys do like it. It's the first Build-A-Figure. I'm not going to say it's the last. I can tell you right now, we have no plans on paper today that is the next one. But we're always leaving our doors open to exploring new ground that we haven't done before. It'd be no fun if I just did the same stuff year in and year out. I mean, the whole team works really hard to always find new ways to push boundaries and to go, into new grounds on the collector stuff and the kids stuff. It's like there's just too much stuff that we don't know that we want to learn and improve upon. The Build a Vehicle was the one piece that we tried this year. I mean, it sounds like a simple thing, but we're like, well, it's not a figure. Let's see how it does. But if you wanted a Vulture, that was the only way we could come up with that we thought would be to really do it justice and make it look awesome.
Now, is it just the wings that are part of the Build-A-Figure that will be split up, and then the Vulture itself will be in its own pack? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Vulture figure is a standalone in the Wave, and he comes with some piece of the Glide. I don't remember which.
There's 7 pieces of the wings plus that little stand that helps the whole thing stay together.
Yeah.
So there's 7 figures in the Wave, 7 pieces of the wings. If you guys got to see it, it's super articulated. When I got my hands on the first model, I didn't know that it had all those cuts, but it can rotate, it can come in and out, the turbines turn, even spin around on the inside.
Wow.
You finally have the Declan Shelby designed Moon Knight in 6-inch and 3 3/4. Why did you do that design instead of the Mr. Knight design?
It's funny you say that. There was a Mr. Knight design that just didn't make it this year.
Okay.
Time for one more question.
Sometimes things hit the cutting room floor for whatever reason.
I'm so glad I got that one because I'm good friends with Declan, so he's excited and
Good.
everything like that. All right, so that was my one Moon Knight question.
The Phoenix 5, some of the characters that you guys showed before that didn't make it, are those dead, or is there a chance that we might still see them? I know the storyline's a little old now. They were great characters.
Thank you. It's the cop-out BS answer I hit these guys with all the time. It's like, you never know. There's no plans because it is a bit older now, and we never made all of them. We only had a couple of them, so while individually some of them were really cool characters, it'd be hard to break those out now, knowing that the tools investors would have to go into making the rest of them. And some of them are pretty expensive, crazy characters, and it's kind of like, well, do you really want Phoenix 5, Namor or Emma Frost, or would you rather have a normal Namor or Emma Frost, or those types of thinkings we
Or
would
the
have.
blade.
What's that?
Or the blade figure.
What about the blade figure?
Oh yeah.
We can see that one.
Or the blade figure from the
Blade's
past.
finally
It's
coming
like
out, right?
it's like if you were, but the same thing. It's like if we were doing that blade figure, I probably wouldn't give you that one. We would update it. We would update it with new parts and stuff, because that was on one of the some of them. The Phoenix 5. The Phoenix 5 is actually on a decent base. It was on our Bucky base body, but like the blade's very old. I wouldn't go back and use that one.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all. If you have any additional questions, I know you all have contacts with Litsky, so feel free to, if you have any additional questions, you can pass them along to Brian here. Thank you so much for coming. We hope you enjoyed yourself today.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Thanks.
See you in a couple months.
Thank you guys very much.
What? I thought we were rotating here.